Guys, back in today with another reaction to the Darwin incident, this time with episode 2. It was a pretty good first episode. I did actually speak, I got a comment on the whole Urasawa thing about the character designs looking quite similar, but apparently it's just a coincidence. Apparently this is just how Japanese people see Western people. But yeah, a lot of the I'm pretty sure like I absolutely saw Guess Out at the end of last episode. But yeah, interesting start. I do think some of the dialogue is quite inhuman, but it does bring up some really interesting questions. Or again, ridiculed unknowingly. This place is gonna get bombed. Oh god. This place is getting bombed, isn't it? You're not a vegan restaurant, you're getting bombed. There's a bomb under there, isn't there? God. So I really don't get these activists. You're dead. Oh, god damn. Just kill a kid off just like that. Holy shit, that is ruthless. Why'd it have to be the kid? Like it said the woman in there. I guess that's just to show just how stupid these guys are. Like they're for animal rights. Are humans not animals? Are we not living creatures? Yet you forsake. And how did you do that? Yet you forsake humanity. Like it doesn't really add up. If you actually cared about animals, you wouldn't kill humans. And how did they get that graffiti so perfect that was that perfect chunk stayed intact? That perfect chunk of graffiti. But yeah, more than a few questionable things in the show. But again, I think overall it's interesting, isn't it? That was brutal right there. But as I said, it kind of goes to show just the stupidity of this alliance. Vegans, eh? I saw some people, like loads of people commenting the other day. It was really weird about like, oh, we're getting some vegan representation. It's like, what do you need to be represented for? It's a choice you've made. Like, I don't get that. It's like me saying, I used to smoke, so it's like me saying, oh, these guys don't smoke. Some non-smoker representation. Like, why do you need a show or a movie or something to justify your choices and your decisions? I don't know. I never really get that. I never get stuff like that. There's a few Obama looking characters in the show, isn't there? I mean, this guy looked a bit like Obama, but that woman almost looks more like Obama sitting in that chair. Again, I can't help but feel like I said this a minute ago about the character designs looking very German. Maybe they think a lot of black people look similar to Obama. Maybe because Obama was very popular and famous during his presidency. That kind of translates over to a lot of black people look similar. Whereas obviously that's not the case. It's just interesting seeing how Asia depicts Western people versus like cartoons and such, very different. And it's probably the same with Asians. Asians represented very differently in anime, as in compared to Western kind of cartoons and stuff. So like I always think in anime, like lots of anime is set in Japan, yet hardly any of the characters actually look Japanese. or Asian. In in quotation marks. I like the biggest issue I've got so far is the fact that why have you sent him to a school in the first place? It just seems incredibly irresponsible. And you've already made him a target. Saw that last episode. Should have homeschooled him. It's all your fault. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. Did you guys not discuss this before? Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's also like from what I saw, it seems like vegans are happy with this, but the way these vegans are being portrayed, the terrorists. You guys are the terrorists in this show. You guys are the heroes. This isn't like a positive representation. You guys are the villains. And it's like, yeah, vegans do get talked a lot of trash online, especially. I mean, especially nowadays, who doesn't? Like, I've noticed on my YouTube channel and such, negative comments, negativity just seems to be getting more and more popular. That seems to be like the algorithm. Negativity is like the algorithm. Seems more commonplace. So yeah, people. I mean, what group of people don't get talked rubbish against? But as I was just saying, like, you guys are the villains of this show, the vegans. I get where they come from. Of like, we want some positive light shown on us in our community. Our vegan community wants some positive light shown on us. That's not what's happening here. Literally showing like the idiocracies of that. I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, this is an extreme case. Like, maybe there are vegan terrorist organizations out there. I highly doubt it, but maybe there are. But is this not like, again, if I was part of that community, I'd almost feel a bit like, not as harshly as disrespected, but I wouldn't appreciate this betrayal for sure. And like the level of stupidity as well. Like killing humans when you stand. Sorry, guys. I think my headphones are finally breaking. I've had these headphones for years, and that part there was just like silent. I thought that might have been the show, but that was my headphones. No. I'm surprised they didn't break sooner, to be honest. It means a fucking annoying thing nowadays, because iPhone are absolute bastards. Apple are bastards, because they've created a new market of wireless headphones. So I've got to now get a new pair of wired headphones, looks like. In his PJs. Look all cute. Got a big face, him, hasn't he? got a big head. I doubt it. I doubt it. Judging based off what he said last week, I doubt it. How nice of you. Give us some more room. Thanks. Here come these bastards again. They're hypotheticals. Do you think he played a part on it? Every vegan in the world is the problem. You all killed that little girl. Every vegan. Just gonna leave the food. I can't believe this show's about being vegan. I was not expecting this when I started this show. Why is it such a big thing? Humans? Humans? That's what? That's a bit too far. Yeah. Because that's our own species. There's so many species out there like that. That's not the reason, though, is it? I think there may be a couple of species out there that eat their own kind, but it's very rare. Well, I'm no expert on stuff like this, but I imagine this comes from a pretty primitive place within humanity. It's kind of like our instinct for survival. If we work with other humans, that's just in our instincts of like we don't kill other humans because we work with them to survive. That aids our survival instinct. Is what I'd assume is the case. Again, countless species out there, cannibalism is not a thing. Again, I think there is like I have heard of cannibalism within like this might not be true, but just like crocodiles maybe, like ruthless species. Like there are some that do partake in cannibalism, but very rare, no. Um, so I think that's a survival instinct for many a creature, to be honest, isn't it? Like the point, I don't really get what the point he's trying to make here is, to be honest. He's saying it like it's some like conscious choice, and it is like a conscious choice, but it's also a subconscious thing that was probably carried down from generations, just like how we are. Why don't you eat monkeys? Why don't you tell us why you don't eat monkeys? Ask us why we don't eat other humans. I mean, there are humans out there that probably do eat other humans. So it's not the case that again, it's kind of that's just we're special. It's not because we're special. It's the fact that we're not special that makes it why we don't. Like I said, like we wouldn't eat another one of our own. You see that with like insects and such as well. They don't eat their own, but and like birds, but they will forsake. They will forsake their children. They will forsake their eggs and kids for the sake of other like kids. They won't eat them. I'm a simp. Did he just say? It sounded like a shimp. Oh god, this is the emo fucking outcast, is it? God, here we go. But yeah, as I was saying, like birds, there's a certain like species of birds that throw their children out so that the other children have more chance of survival. And that's not cannibalism, but that, and again, would it not make sense that they would eat their own so that they have a meal? Like, there's plenty of interesting questions you could ask about stuff like that, but sometimes it's just ingrained in our DNA. So let's read a couple of these tweets. The hashtags are heavy. Reposting the statement video so people understand what we're dealing with. These monsters want fear. Don't give in to them. If anyone has info about the suspects, contact the NYPD. Don't spread rumors. There'll be too much chaos. Look at this guy's picture. That looks suspicious. That is awfully detailed for a I don't want to insinuate anything, but that looks awfully detailed. This guy here. Does that not look like an AI fucking bitch ass profile picture right there? Why is this guy's profile picture so detailed for a scrolling shot that goes by in the time span of 0.10 of a second? Why is that so detailed? And why does it look so human? I hope I'm wrong about that, but that looks AI generated. It really does. You can't really put out their things like that though, so I won't go too much further than that. I'm furious. Those people were just having dinner. What kind of twisted mind targets there? Yeah, why are these guys? Again, might be looking into it too far, but why are these guys' profile pictures so detailed? You'd expect that to be something that they wouldn't put that much effort into. I mean, if it was an incredible production, then fair enough. But this is like it's not anything special, like production wise, or animation wise. This is it. So why is there so much detail in random scrolling profile pictures? That's a bit suspect for me. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Really. These guys end up dating, man. That's where I'm thinking this is going. Bro's got a girlfriend. And ironically, this monkey's pulling more girls than many of these guys at this high school. I was gonna say, yeah, I forgot the driving seat is different. I was like, why is he driving with his that that guy on the other side is driving? Okay. Sorry, I did just kind of miss what he said there. What was he talking about? I was too focused on thinking the driver was driving without using his hands. 1339. That's the thing about laws, isn't it? Some professions, you're allowed to break laws. Police people, reporters, newscasters, you're allowed to harass people. Like, I'm not sure if it's legal, but you're allowed to harass people in those professions. Yeah, if you've done that in any other profession, you'd probably get arrested. So, yeah. We love Charlie. See, are you talking about cocaine or the monkey? Both, maybe. Oh, innocent. No, that embarrassed. They retired. I mean, I don't want to sound harsh here, but its existence is, I think, should be frowned upon. It's here now, so like we shouldn't do anything to retroactively change its existence because it's living and enjoying kind of life. But I think we should actively make it so we don't crossbreed humans and monkeys, and nothing like this would happen in the future because it is. I mean, in the future it might be considered right, but right now, for me, it's wrong. Look at the riz on this guy. Mr. Obama's got some riz. Yeah, I do think like, where does it end? We start making like crocodile humans, fucking fish people. Now, bro, it's looking creepy. Sure. As I said earlier, it's kind of like the few kind of giving the many a bad name. What I said about the vegans earlier. It's like this show's portraying you guys as villains. Like this few, and now everybody's talking about them like they're all terrorists. You see that a lot in real life, don't you? Certain people love putting labels on stuff. Is something I've noticed as I've gotten older. People love labeling things as a certain thing: fascist, racist, sexist. They love giving people names like this and just categorizing them as specifically that, and that's all they are. They are that. They are a personification of just that. And there's more to people than that. But that I mean, if you are in that way inclined, that is a big part of who you are because it's horrible. I forget the point I was trying to make here actually. I forgot the point I was even trying to make. Apologies, guys. I just rewind. But yeah, it's just how the few can give the many a bad name. You see it a lot, unfortunately, especially online. Yeah, I had an interesting point I was going to talk about, but I got lost in the sauce right there. That's what I kind of said earlier. Why should you care about what an anime or a movie? Why should you use that to accept yourself and your choices? Just be you, because if you care so much about other people's thoughts and representations of you and such, then as with this, you probably won't be too happy. You know? Kaleidoscope eyes. That was the President of the United States. He's got a girlfriend. No. Oh, fuck off. What are you talking about rabbits? Why is she so fucking. What's this reaction about? What's all this about? So first you're like, oh, you can't have human friends, and now you're like, is that unbelievable? Fowler, an English name. It's because he's a terrorist. Yeah, he might be the reason Charlie's alive. To be fair to the guy. A little date. Get down to some monkey business. Hmm. I love that little expression face there. Low quality Charlie. Ah, okay. His real mother. She survived then? Hmm. I didn't think she would be. Does she love her son? Said earlier, a lot of species do kind of disown their young and stuff. I think there's a lot that like even some that if even especially like monkeys, I think it's the case. Sometimes if you have like even a certain smell or the smell of a certain like if you've been around humans and you smell like humans, you'll just get like removed from the pack just because you smell different than the rest of your species. So I wouldn't be too surprised if she's like disowned him in a way. Doesn't look like that's the case though. Yeah, decent episode. Decent episode. A lot more actual kind of realistic dialogue here. I think there was. Well, I say that it maybe not so much that's the case, but there was less dialogue that stood out as being just like inhuman. Just like yeah. Sometimes I mean it sounds stupid to say, but sometimes the dialogue last week sounded like a human writ it, like written dialogue. It sounds like someone read it. It didn't. It doesn't sound like people talking. It sounds like somebody writing people talking. And this part of the ending is so weird, isn't it? Beat. That part of the ending is so weird. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, decent episode. Some more interesting questions brought up here. Wasn't quite as expansive as that first episode. Unfortunately, pretty horrible start to be honest with you. Seeing a little girl get blown up like that. Not the nicest way to start off an episode, but does a good job of showing just how brutal, how stupid these terrorists are. In my opinion, anyway. But yeah, again, I didn't think being vegan would be such a big thing about this anime. Like that's the last thing I would have thought. To be honest with you, the show about a half human, half monkey, and one of the main topics is being vegan. I don't really get why we delved into that. It's an interesting topic, and like it's an interesting way they're depicting all this, isn't it? You could depict plenty of like causes and choices and such like this, to be fair. So it's like it's pretty encompassing in what it covers, but yeah, I just didn't expect it to be covering stuff like this. But yeah, some interesting moments here. I would have liked a more extended version of this scene, to be honest with you, because this was an interesting dialogue, which you heard my thoughts on. Like, I don't really get what Charlie's getting at here, to be honest with you. Like, to question us being cannibals, just like it seems like it's common sense, but it's like it's built-in common sense. It's not a common sense that gets taught to you. Like, it's not something you develop. It is. I mean, I say that if you were a baby and you were fed, this is going to be a fucked up line of conversation here, but if you were a baby and you were fed human remains and like humans, I mean, yeah, I guess that's a kind of nurture thing rather than a nature thing. But would you, if you were born eating that your whole life, would you think anything bad of it when you like became an adult? It would just be normal for you. So I don't know. There's a big conversation there to be had about that whole kind of cannibalism and stuff, isn't there? But I don't really get the point Charlie was making. I would like to expand on that a bit more. Maybe is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, other than that, pretty decent episode. A bit slower than last week. Got a little date coming up. Meeting the guy's mum here, who I'm quite surprised survived all that. To be honest, it kind of seemed like she'd be dead. But yeah, very much looking forward to next week. This week again, it wasn't quite as good as out there as last week, but it also didn't have like the. I think last week also had some lower moments. So there was some high highs and some low lows last week, whereas this episode was a bit more like in the middle ground. There wasn't as low lows, but the highs weren't quite as high either. But yeah, let me know some of your thoughts on this episode. Again, lots to discuss here. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you guys next week with episode 3.